So I've been hearing about a lot of different types of diets that some of which I've never heard of before. Being a sports nutrition advisor, I don't know how, but I decided that I want to explain each and every type of diet, all the pros, all the cons, whether I recommend it or not, and whether it's going to help with your target or not. So in this video, I decided that I'm going to pile up all the different types of diet that I know, at least, because I know there's a lot out there that people just keep on creating diets, and I'll tell you why in a bit. And I might change this to a campaign. So people that are following me, they already know that I run two different campaigns now in English and then a few in Arabic. I run FAD, factors affecting your diabetes, and I run parents versus type 1 diabetes. So these are diabetes related. The diets that I'm going to be discussing isn't going to be diabetes related. So it is diabetes related, of course, because you need to know your diet, but also it applies for everyone else. So nothing is bespokely made for diabetes within that series of videos. So the way it's going to work is I'm going to tell you about the different types of diets in this video, and then each post or video I'm going to be talking about a specific type of diet. I recommend that you watch all of them to understand and know which one is better for your target. I will be posting all the videos on my YouTube channel. So if you're not on my YouTube, you might want to check it out. You might want to subscribe just to be notified when a video is out. Right, let's start. So diet number one in the list is carb cycling, carbohydrate cycling. I'm sure a lot of people know what it is, and it's exactly what it says. It's cycling the carbohydrate throughout the diet. So what happens is that you set a target, a fat target, a protein target, and then we up and lower the carbohydrates depending on that day or the day after, or whatever your target is. Let's say you want to run a marathon, for example, so you want to store glycogen. Actually, I think I'm going into a lot of details. This is not for that video, so I'm gonna move on to number two, the Paleo Diet, or Paleo, however you pronounce it. The Paleo Diet is the diet our ancestors used to have. So I'm talking about back in the days, like cavemen, where they used to have only meat, vegetables, fruits, everything is organic. Nothing was processed back then, of course. No refined sugars whatsoever because they didn't exist back then. So it's, I would say, a high protein, high fat, moderate to low carb diet. Third in the list is the trendy one, the Keto Diet. Probably everyone knows keto means a lot of fat, low carbs, low protein. I don't want to say much about keto because I'm gonna obviously make a video about it, but I'm so tempted to talk about it. But let's wait for the video. Fourth on the list, vegan/vegetarian diet. So vegan, you don't eat meat, you don't eat dairy products, you don't eat eggs, nothing at all. Only plant-based foods. And vegetarian, you don't eat meat only. So you're allowed to have dairy products, you're allowed to have eggs. Then we get what's called the Dukken diet. A Dukken diet is a low-carb diet that is split into 4 different phases. Then we have the traditional low-carb diet. So I want to make a point first that a lot of these diets, even in my opinion, I think that they are very similar. So you get low-carb diet, and then you get something called ultra low-carb diet, and then you get fat, low-fat, ultra low-fat, and then you get keto, which is ultra low-carb, and paleo, which is low-carb, and then you get... So what I'm trying to do in this campaign is to explain to you what each diet is, what does it consist of, and but I'm not emphasizing that they should be named that way or there should be a lot of different types, because in my opinion I can literally right now do like probably 2 or maximum of 3 categories of diets and just put them all under these categories. No point of having all these different fancy names while in the end the differences are so negligible. So next one, as I said, there is something called ultra low fat diet, in which your the calories that is coming from fat does not exceed 10% of the total calories consumed that day. Then we have the Atkins diet. So Atkins is very similar to the keto. It's almost identical. The only difference is, again, you go through 4 different phases. Are these phases useful, or who created them? I'll go through them in the when it comes to the Atkins video. Now, there is a diet which, in my opinion, is the weirdest in the list. It's called the Hcg diet. For people that don't know, Hcg is called human. It's a shortcut for human chronic gonadotropin. This is a medication that is taken by pregnant ladies. And for steroid users, they know that after they finish their steroid cycle, they do something called post-cycle therapy, because they want to rebound their testosterone levels and block the estrogen and so on. So they take that as well. Why is it even in a diet? I'm shocked myself. I studied nutrition. I'm a level 4 personal trainer. There isn't anything above that for me to know. I'm a bodybuilder, of course, and I have type 1 diabetes. So type 1 diabetes itself, the knowledge that came from type 1 diabetes outweighs all the education that I'm talking about. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is, and I never heard of this. So this is me just going, browsing the internet, and then I see that this is actually a diet. How it works is that people take Hcg and then they go under 500 calories a day, and they lose from 1 to 3 pounds a day in one day. So I don't know much about it yet. I'm still gonna study it and then provide you with the information that I know. But what I'm thinking of right now is going below 500 calories a day anyway is gonna cause severe weight loss. So not sure if Hcg has got anything to do with it, because I don't know. I mean, I know what that medication does. I'm not sure if it's responsible for losing weight. I might be wrong, so let's wait for the episode. Now, there's a diet called the Zone Diet. The Zone Diet is a good, well-balanced diet. So you've got enough protein, enough fats, enough carbs. But the carbs that you're going to be consuming are all of low glycemic index. So for people that don't know what glycemic index is, it is the value that decides whether that carb is going to be slowly broken down into the body and slowly absorbed, or is going to happen fast. So an example of a low glycemic index food is oats. That's why it's always a healthy version in our diet. A high glycemic index is sugar. That's why it's not really good to add it to our diet. Finally, we got intermittent fasting. So a lot of you probably know what intermittent fasting is, especially if you have diabetes. I believe at one point, especially actually if you have type 2 diabetes, you did intermittent fasting just to kind of have more control in your blood sugar levels. So yeah, I'll have a whole episode on that. There is a lot to talk about when it comes to intermittent fasting. So I'm going to be starting this campaign by having an episode either on carb cycling or keto. I'll see which is more desirable. If you have if you want a specific diet for me to start with, just put it in the comment. But again, I want to emphasize that I'm going to be sharing the campaign only on YouTube. So I'm not going to be sharing it on Facebook anymore. I might share snips on my Instagram. Here are my accounts anyway. But overall, it's going to be shared on my YouTube. So I would appreciate if you actually subscribe for the channel for me to be able to actually, grow the platform, because I only started using YouTube, and also for you to get notified. I hope you're looking forward for this, and I hope it benefits you. And remember, for people with diabetes, fad is still on. So I'm still making videos for factors affecting diabetes. There is, of course, a delay in pretty much everything I do right now because of the competitions. I've got competition in 4 weeks, less than 4 weeks, and then another one 2nd of May, and then I'm done competing for a year or two at least. My body is so deprived right now. So yeah, I'll see you later. So I thought about opening some resources from my sports nutrition course that I did, because I remember there was a lot of diets, and I couldn't remember them on the top of my head. You're going to be surprised now. Listen, there is a fruitarian diet, a lacto-vegetarian diet, an ovo-vegetarianism diet. I can't even pronounce that. An ovo-lacto-vegetarianism diet, a vegan diet. We said that these are just the vegetarian ones. Then there is the semi-vegetarian ones, a semi-vegetarian diet, a kangatarian diet, a pescatarian diet, a plant-based diet, a Polotarian diet, Polo-Pescatarian. Oh my god. These are just the vegetarian one. Then there is the weight control diets, the 5-2 diet, Body for Life diet, Cookie diet, Hackers, Nutrisystem, the Weight Watchers or Slimming World diet, yeah, of course. And then there is the very low calories diet, the Inuit diet, a diet in which no food is consumed based on the belief that food is not necessary for human life. I don't even know how does this qualify to be a diet. But anyway, the KE diet, a diet in which an individual feeds through a feeding tube and does not consume anything. That is sickness. That's not even a diet. Anyway, low carb diets. We said Atkins, the Kim Kins diet, the South Beach, Stillman diet. And then a bit of a low fat diets, the McDougall's starch diet, or whatever that is. There was someone now, crash diets. Yeah, let's jump into crash diets. I know I'm so excited reading this, because some of them, they're not used. As in, it's too much, like for my kind of strategy, it's too complicated. Whatever they are, like I'm gonna read through them like by myself later. Anyway, the Beverly Hills diet, the cabbage soup diet, a low-calorie diet based on heavy consumption of cabbage soup, considered a fat diet. Right, grapefruit diet, monotrophic, Subway, Western dietary pattern. And then we got the detox diets. It's a never-ending, I swear down. Juice fasting, master cleanse. The juice fasting is a form of detox diet in which nutrition is obtained solely from fruits and vegetable juice. The health implications of such diets are disputed. Of course, there's no protein in whatever that diet is, right? Religious belief-based diet. Okay, I can't argue with this because everyone got their own religion and their own culture, but let's read them. The Buddhist diet, Hindu, Anjan, Islamic, Ital, Kosher, Seventh-day Adventists, Word of Wisdom diet. Cool. Diets followed for medical reasons. Okay, I mean whatever there is, I can't take the piss. The diabetic diet, an umbrella term for diets recommended to individuals with diabetes. There is a considerable disagreement in the scientific community as to what sort of diet is best for people with diabetes, and new research is often coming to light, of course. The DASH diet, the elemental diet, elimination diet, gluten-free and casein-free, healthy kidney diet, the ketogenic, we said that, liquid diet, the low FODMAP diet, okay, I know that, specific carbohydrate diet. I'm not going to even read that. And then we got other well-known diets. What else is known? The alkaline diet, the blood type diet. Blood type diet is a diet based on the belief that people's diet should reflect their blood types. Eat clean, fit for life, food combining, the Gerson, the Graham, the Hay, the high protein, the high residue, a diet in which high quantities of dietary fiber are consumed. High fiber foods include certain food. Okay, that's fine. Not a big deal. The Inuit people traditionally consume food that is fished, hunted, or gathered locally, predominantly meat and fish. Honestly, these diets, because it's a diet, because it's called a diet, doesn't mean that it's got any benefit. By the way, it could be a very, very, very harmful diet. Like, I won't even call it a diet, but yeah, people just name their stuff. Remember at the start of the video, I said everyone creates something and they just put a name to it. Honestly, there's a lot more. They're never ending. Jenny Craig diet, lacovore, low carb again, macrobiotic, Mediterranean, mind, Montiage. Okay, honestly, I had enough. There is plenty. That's probably only half the list. The thought about letting you know that there's more than the 11 that I mentioned.